Who's not awake on the Friday at midnight?
Probably like 2/3 of viewership, but it's all good. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the stream.
Maybe
Sam Ministries Late Night Edition.
apparently it's like everybody's bedtime, so
Yeah, I thought you said it was like 10 something, but
I thought it was. We got dinner at like 9.
it's 11:40.
Did it take us that long to eat?
It's 11:40.
We didn't do anything out here yet. We just pressed that one thing off, and that was about it.
Yeah, there was a lot of hammering. The time we left the dining room was like 10:40. I guess I should have realized that. We said something the first time. Anyway, so there's shafts and there's synchros. Point is,
There's dead shafts.
yeah, dead synchros.
I see dead things.
Synchros. The dang old fusion donor. When we bought it, we knew it had a bad clutch. That's why they're getting rid of it. Turns out they were driving it hard on that dead clutch because it they like smashed it in every gear till they completely folded over the synchros.
I would say more melted. They are rough.
You gotta go to the mobile cam. You should be able to zoom in on that. I don't know all the G series stuff. The E series looks positively tiny.
Exactly.
Said, do you guys ever sleep?
Yeah, till noon, baby.
Are you ever awake? Or asleep?
Asleep?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
you
you-
don't sleep either. Right here, Steve. You can bring it over here. Oh wait, I dropped. No, I see your lip sleeping. Right here, I'll try to get it. I'll try to get it over here so we can actually put it on something.
Shove the synchros in her face. Plus, this way I can actually see what I'm doing.
So yeah, that focuses in. You guys can see top one, good. See how sharp these little teeth are, and then even without feeling them, just looking at them, you can see how rounded and flat these are. Get a side profile actually, if we can.
Let me not break my wrist for a view.
Yeah, look at that edge. If it'll focus at all, you
No,
can
it-
see back here, sharp, shiny teeth.
So this one doesn't have any teeth left. That's just
Yeah.
ghosting. It's completely smooth.
That's bad. Very bad.
Like I said, it didn't grind them off. It melted them.
And then we see here, this is the hub synchro. Kind of a really good one.
The good one is right there. You could also just flip that one because the one
Yeah,
side's
it's
perfect.
already too shiny on the side. Like this one's still dark. So here's a good one. We've got these little teeth right here. You can kind of see those little teeth edges. And they are nice and black, same color as the gear. We go to the flip side. Same deal. You can kind of see those teeth edge. My flashlight might even let you see the profile of those teeth. Oh, there, yeah. You guys can now see the shape. Let's see they're supposed to be. Little triangular tips. They got flat top there. Look really closely, dead center of the screen. You'll see that one's got a little chip in it. Just the tiniest little mark right there in the dead center. Show it on camera.
It looks like.
Yeah, there's a tiny chip in that one. The one I'm bringing up really close to the middle. Tiny little chip. You go over, you see that? Maybe a little bit of wear on that tip. Now if we go to the other one, from the Fusion, you can see how shiny they are because it's down to bare metal instead of the black hardened metal.
It's past bare metal. It's like a millimeter shorter.
Well, yeah, so this is the front side. You can see how chipped that is. Each edge is pretty chipped out. Definitely not pointy on the top. And then the back side, if I go to this side, look at that. I don't even need to have a flashlight because they're so shiny and flat, it's acting like a little mirror. That is horrific. Look at, they've been murdered. There's no tips left at all. They ground this thing until it was flattened. So this is a bad idea to put back in. Like this thing was still shifting by hand, but long term this is not good. So go back to our table overhead here.
And Bill, if you look in the chat, I have better pictures that you can actually see the damage.
So back to overhead for a second. That's bad. So I plan on putting new synchros into the V2, the G15 for V2 that I'm building. So we figured if we're going to do that anyway, we'll split all the shafts apart. We'll put the used synchros from the G6 for V2 onto the Fusion one since they're better, and then the new Synchros will go on V2. But obviously, the more we dug into it, we realized it's not just the Synchros that are bad, but the actual hub gears are bad. There's a good chance.
Said. Cool.
Yeah. So there's a good chance I can order some of this still from Mazda brand new. I know I can get Synchros. We're going to try to get new hub gears. And so V2's trans doesn't need to be done for the next 2 months or so. So I went ahead and ordered these parts from Japan. So we're taking the used ones from V2 and putting them on this shaft. However, we can't just switch shafts. It'd be a lot easier just to use that shaft in this trans, but the one for V2 is a totally different final drive ratio.
It's also modified.
Yes, we've already cut it down. So we had to do it this way. So now every G6 shaft I have left is torn apart in pieces. We don't have the right press for it, so I'm starting to damage stuff. Despite me owning all the right tools that Ford recommended, it's still not easy or
Ford also recommends
nice.
a press. So
they do recommend press. So I bought some of those tools, so they're coming. So in the future when I do this, I won't chip the tiny edge of this tooth, which is fine for now. Everything we have is still usable. We didn't break anything important. It's hard to do. It's hard to swing a hammer when I could be using a press. So I think tomorrow morning, I'm literally just going to go drive to Harbor Freight in the morning and buy a dang press for us to do the rest of this on camera. But for tonight, we want to get as far as I can assembling this without a press or try it with the hammer. If it gets too difficult, I'll just turn the stream back off again and we'll go to bed and I'll get the press in the morning.
I think we can at least get that one shaft finished.
The input, the output shaft.
The one you just touched.
Output shaft.
Yeah.
Or as the Mazda would call it, the main shaft.
It is very main. It has more functions.
All right. So that involves things like a very certain order of operations that I don't recall. So
I got this.
yes, the long term, I should be able to do this alone. Because people pay me to do this job.
I don't care. I'll still help you.
I figured you'd want to come along for the ride, but I still want to be able to do it.
If you just like buy me dinner anytime we do it,
I'll
more
be
than good
happy
enough.
to buy dinner. I'll buy dinner anyway.
Exactly. Let's see.
Oh, right. Let's say this bottle is funky. Oh, that's because you opened it with a hammer. That's right.
It's not my fault you didn't open it.
Carry a knife. You already EDC a flashlight. Knife's not too much bigger.
Oh, we need to take apart my old flashlight. It stopped working like completely.
Oh, really?
Remember how I had like that rattle in it?
Yeah.
I think it might be part of it. I don't know how to take it apart properly without damaging it, so I might need your help.
Yeah. Might need slight heat.
I don't think the LED itself died. I think it's something with the driver. I don't know if I can get any parts for it though, so it's kind of scary. It's outdated already, discontinued. I'm not sure if Phoenix is a big enough brand. I think Chinese people would sell parts.
Unlikely. They typically sell you a whole flashlight.
Well, Phoenix isn't a Chinese brand; it's an American brand.
I know, but Phoenix wouldn't sell. I don't know. There's very few flashlight people that sell parts at all until you get to like the $400 flashlight range and you want to like customize your drivers, or it's like a Candlelight Forums one, where it's like DIY drivers and stuff.
Now this one I do not remember which. Actually, I do, because the clip goes on this side where it had almost no grooves. That would make it super easy to take that clip off. We're gonna need one of your bearing driver things, probably. You know, a cup to get down here, then just keep stacking cups. Which we would still have to do that for a press either way.
What are they just doing?
Actually, we could probably just do it the opposite direction.
Yeah, they want 4,000 pounds on the press. 4,400 pounds.
Only 4,000 grams.
Oh, they want feeler gauges in here?
The hell's the point of a feeler gauge? I guess that's what those shims are for, that we don't have in this transmission.
Yeah.
Neither of these transmissions had shims, so
Press washers.
yeah. That's almost kind of pedantic. They're kind of the same thing.
just gonna stand over here, out of the way for a minute, so I can get a good shot of Steven from this dying. Wait, this thing died despite being on charge this whole time? It did. 0%. What? Doesn't make any sense. Something failed. It didn't even have a dim screen. My battery just give out. Alright, well, fuck me, I suppose. Oh, and I can't angle the top-down camera. That's right. 6 people watching like a non-content stream right now because my cameras are all boned. You're really at 0, you mother trucker. Alright, well I guess you guys are getting the overview.
Said, better late than never. Hello everyone, cowboy hat face.
Hi Ryle.
Bill Taylor said, that one has had a hard life, wow.
That phone has really seen some stuff, that's for sure.
Is Ryle in the group chat of any of ours?
I don't think so.
No. I might just go ahead and send him those pictures of the Synchros.
Oh yeah, Ryle, you should see the Synchros we pulled out of the transmission donor. It's wild how bad it was.
Said, there pics in the chat.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the chat though.
Yeah, it's not the picture, it's the person. It's just a super ton. Where's the old Synchro? Okay, that one fits aight. That one fits aight. We had one that didn't fit aight. Is this one that didn't fit? Is there some? Yeah. Wait. No, that one did. Maybe it was that one. I'd say they should be the same. Yeah. Oh.
It looks bent from here.
Yeah, that one's wrecked. It rotated.
Yeah.
That was the old one then.
Wow.
It's still pretty sharp. Oh, that's right. The first gear was actually still decent in this one, but
Yeah, it's rotated there, and every edge is just absolutely fuckered.
neat.
So we thought it was good, but it was not.
It was very not.
So somebody just kept slamming this thing into gears.
They were literally slamming it.
Like, to get it to do this, you would have had to just be like, if I keep beating on the stick, I'm surprised they didn't snap a shift cable.
Honestly.
Because the force of this brass bending is purely from the steel fork and their arm on the cable.
It's a good thing they're steel forks.
Right? If this is aluminum fork trans, we would have bent forks out the wazoo, man. Good lord.
One of I don't know if the wide angle's gonna focus enough to show that.
Probably not.
Can you put? Oh, you can't put pictures in the YouTube chat. Fortunately, you guys probably won't get to see a very good picture of that.
Here, stick your big head right in front of it. The light, as long as we got light on it, should focus. Go close. So yeah, right there on the edge. Oh, there. You can see the shadow. You see how there's like an extra little indent on the bottom edge there? A little ramp. It's not supposed to be ramped like that. Those are supposed to be like, yep. See that edge, the little square thing there? Perfectly square all the way around. Nice square edges, all of that square. Take the square one back.
That's incredibly impressive.
This one is not square on the edge. Look at that little ramp going on. Focus you back.
It literally wouldn't fit inside the gear anymore.
Yeah, there. You can see right there in the edge, which that shiny reflection.
That means
like ramped across right where my middle finger is.
That means that this hub assembly.
Somebody was smashing this in gear to completely deform this brass edge into that ramp right there. There it is, dead center of the screen. Good grief. Oh yeah, you can see that. Whew! I'm gonna put this right in the bin.
I'll tell you what, this Synchro grabs tight as hell though compared to the old one.
Dealer said, I see.
Yeah, where's the other one that was worn out?
I put the other ones over
Right here?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
center of it. Not every day you find something that's impressively bad.
Said, the oil glittery.
No, because they didn't really lose the brass out of it. They just smashed it in until the edges were all over. Here, I'll try the focus again for a second. That was the back.
I think I just fucked that all the way.
This one's not focusing as well, but I don't know if you can tell, Ryle. There's the bottom one's the good one, the good used one. And you can see, maybe, the teeth are all there and pretty sharp. Maybe not. Anyway, I don't know if it'll show up on camera very well, but this is the one from the trans that was not shifting as nicely. The teeth are like completely rolled over. This thing is virtually flat. There, you can see on the top edge, with light on it from this angle, that it's flattened. They were slamming this thing into the gears when it had no clutch. There's a good one again. Bad one, so.
So I don't think we talked. Oh yeah, that's bad. Wait, that's
That's a good one.
is that
It's
good
dirty.
though? Okay, yeah, the dirt filled in the cracks.
Yeah, the bad one's easy to tell.
Oh, it's literally twisted. Look at the unless. No, they're straight. If you look at these lines, they're straight.
Oh yeah.
They literally twisted the Synchro. I don't think we
This is
talked
the good
about
one, right? Yeah, it's the good one.
the Fusion story too much. I think we talked about it when we were off camera about how she got the lady we got from was super nice. Like she actually was enjoying us streaming out there, like somewhat stream we had.
Yeah.
But she bought the Fusion. She had it for a little bit, and then the transmission went out. The shop she took it to, first the clutch went out. She had the shop replace the clutch, and then later on the transmission went out. She went back to have the transmission replaced. The shop she went to at first gave her an automatic transmission. Then she had to drive 6 more hours to go find the manual transmission for it. And then when they replaced it for her, and it's still doing the exact same thing. Come to find out that there's nothing wrong with the transmission. The original shop just didn't replace her clutch. It was still the OEM burnout clutch that was in it. They had to have done something to make it work.
Like burnout and shredded.
Yeah, it was broken to pieces. So her old transmission was probably fine. Well, it probably ended up how this one is now, because she's probably driving with a bad clutch beforehand too. But yeah, the original shop didn't replace her clutch, which made her second transmission go bad.
Criminal.
It literally is criminal, like to the definition.
And then the last shop she went to, the guy went actually just lost his mind.
Yeah.
Went insane.
Well, the
took a
third
hammer and pickaxe to the entire car.
the third time wasn't a shop; it was a local guy.
Yeah,
That's some
so like a
mobile
mobile
mechanic
type dude.
Yeah,
But yeah, he just actually destroyed the car.
yeah, he just literally a pickaxe to it. It's crazy.
Like on drugs, in a drug rage, just lost his mind.
Yeah, because she didn't trust shops anymore, taking it to an actual shop because they wrecked her so many times. So she figured, some mobile mechanic might be able to do it. Yeah. I feel bad for her. I really do. She was such a nice person.
Well, we helped her out. We pulled the engine for her and stuff and set it
She
aside.
she was trying to sell the motor too, and we actually just ended up pulling it out for her since it was easier on our part anyways. Yeah, just does not have luck with cars. All of her cars. She had, it It wasn't an Acura. It was something that's super fancy, sportsy car.
Yeah, and there's a Explorer out there too. That was dead in your yard. I've only got 2 of the thingies over here.
Of what? Oh, those don't matter. They're getting trashed anyways.
This one's trash?
Yeah, it's the center hub for that one.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
I mean, it's not terrible, but if the twist the synchro, my twisted that too.
I mean, it's not good. It's flat on many edges.
Considering the synchro we pulled out of it fits fine in that one, but wouldn't fit fine in the good one, the whole hub assembly has to be bit.
Well, it's good to have a new one, hopefully on the way.
Well, it's a damn good thing that Mazda definitely upgraded their shift forks.
Yeah.
If you can break gears and stuff but not break a shift fork, you know you're doing something good.
Beast mode shift fork.
Okay, I think this is second gear. This is second or second first. I might give you 2 first. That indeed looks like a second first. Okay. These are V2 gears anyways. Not that one. Not that one. Definitely not that one. These are 5-speed gears.
These?
Yeah. Which means these are probably the matching gears for them. Although I guess it could be 5th and 6th. They're single cone.
Yes, these are 5th and 6th.
These are 5-speed. Neither of those are probably 3rd and 4th. This is we need another gear that looks like this because this is V2 second. That actually might be it. Hey, look at that. Hey, you know it's this second because the teeth are slightly worn. Yeah, another.
And this one's going to be garbage.
Triple cone. Oh, did we mention the extra cone on video?
We might have.
I don't remember because we turned the video off and we worked for quite a while after that.
So we mentioned a few times that part of the upgrade of this transmission is the fact that the transmission has either carbon or double cone synchros. The fact is it's got a lot of different types of synchros, and it's a really good spread. So it's first and second are triple synchro. There's still double cone, but one of the cones actually has a 3rd set of teeth on it. So there's 3 tooth surfaces.
So it's so laggy. I think I'm afraid. So on standard gears, which you just had 2 of them. There we go. On most transmissions, you have just a standard single cone synchro, which the synchro actually grinds on the gear itself to slow the gear down. I need the double now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you touched it a lot, so I didn't feel as bad touching it.
I'm touching it with my clean hands.
So on most of the gears in this transmission, you have a double cone synchro because it physically has 2 synchros per gear, and it has this single. Well, it's a single cone technically, but it's double-sided, where the teeth actually grip onto.
Yeah. So first and second are what essentially was on triple cone. So there's your first synchro surface on the inside there. Then your centerpiece. Then your next one on the inside of that, that's your second cone. And if you look on the flip side, even more teeth on the inside. So you have a tooth surface right there. Come on, camera, focus for me.
No.
Anyway, first and second triple cone.
I was stepping up to that because you got the full cone, the no cone, and then the hybrid.
Oh, dude, the edge is so cool. So it's just enough extra surface area for triple cone. Then on 3 and 4, they wanted to still give you some strength, so it's double cone carbon.
Yeah, on 3rd gear.
So 3rd gear is double cone again, not 3 faces, just 2 faces, but this time it's a carbon synchro, which is super strong. Then 4th gear is double brass.
Yep.
Because as you go down to like the higher gears, you don't need as much engagement force. You're not like doing a launch or going like a super high power.
The speed differential between gears gets less as you go up.
And then fifth gear is single cone, but it's carbon. So you're back to a carbon one, single cone. And then sixth gear is single cone, standard brass. So the sixth is the only one that's like normal. Every other gear gets stronger as you go down. So you go standard, single cone brass, then single carbon, then double brass, then double carbon, and then 2 triple brass ones, which is fantastic.
If you wanted to get super fancy and spend a lot of money, you could technically make this transmission entirely all carbon synchros.
Yeah, you might have to do a little modifications to a couple of the teeth, but
I don't think
in
it's
theory you should be able to.
I think the only real difference is you might have to actually grind this cone off. I don't know if the synchros are going to clear that cone because it's
Slayer said, any recommendations for Festiva rear wheel bearings and seals? I'm looking at a set 1G and set 4G in the 1120 SIXS wheel seal from AutoZone.
I would not buy it from a brick and mortar store. I would only, if you don't have time to wait, I would only buy the Timkins right now from Rock Auto. If you have time to wait, I have like OEM JDM bearings in the way, which would be way better than anything you can get in the US. The seal, Timken or National, both fine. But for the bearings in the US, get the Timkins from Rock Auto. Otherwise, I can source, or I'm working on sourcing NSKs, Nachis, or Koyo, which are all OEM suppliers, and they're actually JDM bearings at Rock.
well, in terms of like your backlash for the since we ground some off, this has even more than that anyways. So
Oh,
the
does it?
stock non-ground surface actually has more, so their spec is probably pretty wide. So it's not something I'd worry about.
Slayer said, plenty of time to wait, just looking to get it rolling before mud season here in Maine.
Then yeah, send me a message and I'll get enough to source so that you can have some too.
This one needs.
I'm already on an ordering spree of parts since we found so much shit on this transmission.
I'm gonna say we have at least half. No, if you consider from like the base transmission as we got it, we're only using about a quarter of the parts. We're using the shafts and gears. That's it.
Wild.
Well, I guess we're using the shift linkage from it or the forks and stuff. We didn't technically have to 100%, but
Yeah. Still.
I would like to consult a guide just to make sure this is actually going back together right. I'm pretty sure this is the last piece, and it gets that last clip. And then I think it has the one gear up here.
I can print the parts diagram real quick.
That'll just work.
The actual instruction manual is kind of blurry.
I don't think we have. Yeah, just the diagram's more than enough. Even if you just pull it up on your phone and let me see it real quick, or put it on the TV.
Yeah, not on TV.
So I'm sure you would enjoy if I gave you the right parts on this transmission.
Well, sounds good. I didn't need.
Dude, if the carbon synchros, the double cone ones weren't so expensive, I would do it just for the fun. But mine's already assembled, so. Okay. The top one's in second. Nope, bottom one. So first, hub, clip, synchro, second. Yeah, actually might, yeah. Just get in here a little bit because I'm seeing clips that didn't come off of this one. Okay, it's this stack. That never came off.
It's in here still.
Yeah, it never came off. It's still on there.
Yep.
So this one was the weird plastic looking one that's directly against the
Yeah, the other one's the retention ring.
synchro, spring clip, 4 doodads, selector, secondary spring clip. Okay, that definitely went on. I'm guessing that's the synchro set. It looks weird as hell in that picture.
I mean, I can confirm that. 26. Hang on.
Oh, it went away.
Yeah, hang on. Is it full screen?
It's not full screen, but that's good enough.
Okay. Where?
Oh, yeah.
What's the number of flat notes? You're looking at 26Z.
26. I forgot what I was looking at.
That's right.
Yeah.
260. Yeah, that's a Synchro.
Okay, I think we're good.
That's another little touch rings. We're just hoping it's still stuck in a gear.
Yeah, because you got that clip that goes directly after the
Slayer.
cycle ring.
Said, my rear brakes are locking up, and I have a set of dynamic friction drums and shoes as well as a Carlson brake hardware kit. But I figure might as well do wheel bearings and seals while I'm in there.
Yeah, if you already have it off, might as well.
There's a second backlash ring. There's a gear I was putting on the secondary clip. There's the other gear. I knew there was one more gear. So I need to make sure I put the right one on. Unless, yeah, there's C and D. I just don't know which one's which. They even look pretty identical in the picture.
Slayer. Said, LOL, the wheel is stuck on the car too.
You're having a great time out there.
Okay, one's slightly bigger than the other.
Yeah, and they both, if those coincide, face each other.
Oh wait, one has a cutout. One doesn't.
Slayer.
Does it show a
Said-
cutout in the picture?
But she's tucked away out of the snow.
Good, keep them healthy. Not really. So this is probably where the syrup is handy, so we'll pull that up.
Because after these two, then it's just the bearing.
Charmly. Whoa. Fusion front-wheel drive 2.5 in there. And diagnostics.
Oh no, I don't need a thing. We're good.
Doing it anyway.
No, you want to know why we're good?
Why?
If you come here, I can show you why we're good. I'll give you a whole ass demonstration why we're good.
Yeah.
Because this has that second backlash ring, and this has the 3 teeth to hold it.
Yeah.
And that one don't.
Okay. What about those? Do those matter?
No.
The orientation?
Well, this orientation does
shaft?
matter.
I meant those relative to the shaft.
No.
Those clocked.
No,
What are they for then? Just oil?
just because, I guess. There's no oil holes there.
Right.
But yes, this goes like this. You get a clip, and then this goes like this. This stops like right here.
What goes on that?
Or I guess it stops right here. There's a space in
Yeah.
between these.
Okay. Manual.
I wonder why they decided they needed that back.
Oh, this calls it output shaft, those mother truckers. Hey, Steven.
Yeah?
The manual says remove and discard snap ring.
So one-time use. Well, it's gonna be a 2-time use, so. I mean, it's our first time, so that counts, right? I guess they probably figured no one's gonna get it out in one piece, anyways.
They also recommended using a marker to mark the hub sleeve.
Oh, the orientation.
Yeah.
That way you can actually put it back together correctly
Yeah.
without having to try to look up in the tiny hole. I might have dicked up slightly. I overextended the There it goes.
Slayer. Said, I also have a 1985 Honda Sabre V65 that I'm working on. I've been thinking about getting an ultrasonic cleaner for card work, etc.
Yeah, we used Nate's for some of this stuff, and it was nice.
Much nicer than doing it by hand. Say that much. The bottom needs to kick out. So the top can go.
Slayer said, "They are fairly inexpensive, no?"
Yeah, the smaller size especially.
I think this one's overextended. I think it should be further down.
Should I gear back off?
There's a possibility.
Said, "Amazon has them."
Yeah, they're going to be relatively the same price and quality no matter where you go. They all come from the same place, so. Actually, I think they do need to go up. They need to go up because. No, I think that's Synchros aligned. Aha. That would have sucked ass if I had to take that back apart. I see why they say use marker. That way I didn't have to. I thought I got close enough, so I pushed this down to lock it in place.
Yeah.
I didn't get close enough.
The instructions in this one are actually pretty good as far as reassembly.
Because I didn't want to bend those tabs
Said,
for your anti-backlash.
"Yep, just a different color or name."
Also, at one point, it stopped saying use 4 tools and just says use suitable tool in your press to hold it. So we're gonna have to get some tubes, like something like this.
Yeah.
Because they're have to reach in and press the gears on.
Nah. Just do it backwards like the book tells you to.
This book says that's what it says. Suitable tool. It's like long tube to press things down.
Okay, I'm far enough in now that the synchros are catching those pause reads to push in. That's good. That means everything should stay aligned now. Get the hell out of my hand.
Gives me a nice little press.
Oh yeah. I wish mine actually.
We could use the impact again.
For what?
Press it back in.
How?
Pull her right here.
No, that's flirting. It's just, it's a dead blow. So I feel it. I don't see it.
You're wearing gloves.
I can tell you without a doubt, gloves don't do a damn thing for splinters. Because
I'm doing pretty good over here.
I get them through my hand up. Where the fuck are you?
Hang on, I see it. I see it.
Oh, I don't think
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you got it.
my nerves are failing.
Oh, yeah. Is it bloody? Yeah. Look, there's a tiny bit of blood.
Oh.
See it? It is bleeding.
My nerves are failing me. I felt up here.
Almost there. Alright. Now you have to put it back in.
Oh yeah, that's all the way.
So should I order an ass load of these clips then?
No. I mean, unless you want to. We didn't stretch them. We were super careful. The other one clipped on really nicely and didn't feel loose.
Put the right one.
I mean, I think these are both. That's the one I was using. It felt right. Same
These two are the
size.
same, and this one's big.
That one's probably for the other shaft or something. I don't know where it came from. Or it could be from the G5.
Oh, there's G5 one. We mangled it.
No. Well, this also feels right, so.
Okay. Sounds good
I
to
need
me.
a hammer and a
Small
punch.
one. Where's the little hammer? Or the orange hammer? Oh, it's right there.
Oh, I just need to tap the clip in place. Oh, I touched it and it popped in place. So I'm going to say it's springy enough.
I definitely, when it comes time to do these for customers, we should do like all of them in the course of like one, like
Batch.
Friday to Sunday, while the tools are out. Because every time I clean up the space to make it ready for something, it always turns out like this.
Yeah, I feel that.
Which is like, it's not a big deal, but it is wild. Like, we have every extension out for the for the OTC right now.
Not even just out, installed.
Yeah. I assume we're done with it. I'm gonna put it back away before I lose track.
We should talk to Nate and find out how he wants the stuff shipped in. I think we should take the shafts off to send him a bare shaft. The problem is he
Should
measures
we take the gears off?
in terms of packaging, possibly losing parts, and if you do it for a customer, you're gonna want to take it apart anyways and verify stuff like that. You know, if the synchros are actually good.
Nope. I'm not doing that unless they're paying for it. It's a ton of extra labor.
It guarantees they have to replace bearings then.
I know, it says that on my price list. It says, here's the cost for new bearings, here's the cost for new synchros, and it says, if you want new synchros, you're going to need new bearings, so do both. And combined, it's like, that's $1,100.
I guess I
So
wouldn't.
I'm not tearing apart the shaft.
I wouldn't
for
just
free.
do it. I would tell them that it's highly recommended to check the condition of your synchros.
I think I'm just going to quit buying ones from cars that have dead clutches.
Well, if you buy them at, you know,
They're tested. So far, everyone we bought has been tested. There's one I'm looking at getting that says not tested out of all of them, which is not bad.
Oh,
That one I'll give a closer look at.
well, the one that was actually tested really well. I mean, it damn near meant.
Yeah. Need one more nut for this. Is it over there?
What about that big ass nut in front of your face? Backside of the can.
Uh-huh. The one. Directly behind the can. Could not see it.
So there we go. That's one shaft.
5
completed.
people here at 12:22. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Make a wish.
Well, I can tell you, your second gear will be a little rough to power shift into.
Because
The teeth aren't.
we should have filed it.
They're not ramp shaped anymore. They're
Kind of
kind of.
give it just a little.
I don't think it'll be terrible.
Alright, so what you're saying is we need another 2-pound shift knob.
Slayer
Understood.
said. Out there doing the Lord's work, slightly smiling face save the manuals.
Yeah, the rare ones. Bring me your manuals. You're tired, you're weak, you're worn out, beat dick ass fusion, etc.
I can't say much because she did tell us. She told us
Yeah.
exactly how they had to drive it. Like she was very upfront. That's also I'm kind of more mad that she got screwed over.
And honestly, like out of all the ones I bought, it was pretty cheap. It's very cheap for an American one. I'll put it that way.
It's the cheapest American one we found.
So
Like, what's even worse is this fusion transmission took me months to find.
Yeah.
Like I was searching daily for months. I only found it because I knew a little bit about the fusions. Like it was listed as a 3.5. It wasn't a 3.5, and she wasn't even selling the transmission. She was just listed the engine. So I found a fusion engine listing that showed a 3.5 in the listing title, but the picture showed a 2.5 because you can only get this transmission out of the 2.5 fusions. That was fun. So we got one shaft together at least, and a pile full of dead parts.
one more bit. One more.
What we'll do with the parts for V2's shafts, since we're not putting the shafts back together until we get the parts, obviously, we'll separate the parts by shaft. That way we don't get them mixed up. They're not mixable, like they won't go on the wrong way.
Yeah. Good idea. So you need big pieces of string.
I meant like put them completely in
Slayer.
separate boxes.
Said, you can never trust the ad. Always ask the important questions, like is it a manual transmission? LOL.
Yeah, we did at least check before we went all the way up there. And I told her, like, is it real because it's a rare? And she said, oh, we know. It took me a long time to hunt this thing down. I was like, all right, great.
Yeah, it took her also 6 hours to driving to get that transmission. I think didn't she actually go down where we were almost?
No, I think she went like, all the way to like the other side of New York.
Oh, I remember it's like some like stupid long distance.
Yeah.
Which is why like when you actually offer this of a service, like just the finding the transmission part alone is worth the service.
That's great on this.
Because you have contacts that normal people wouldn't. So it's still hard to find, but it's easier for you to find them.
Yeah, even then it's not easy. Easier, but not easy. Which is why I recommend going through me for the service. Like I said before on stream, at some point I'll make a guide video for this, like I normally do. But it's still very hard DIY because, as you've seen, A, it's just not an easy job, and B, you have to have all these specialty tools. You really should have access to a press, and do it for Festiva, you need access to a professional machine shop, or an amateur machine shop.
Now I'm professional. A lot of amateur people don't work with hardened steel.
Well,
Not that hard.
I wouldn't call Nate's garage a professional machine shop.
But Nate
But
is a professional.
They're doing. But generally speaking, yes, this is
I mean,
it's DIYable because, like, at the end of the day, I'm not a professional shop. I'm doing it, so I'd call that DIY. We did it ourselves.
You are a professional.
As soon as we pay to do it, I'm a professional because it's my profession.
You got a degree. You're a professional.
Yeah. Their machinist is like rolling in their grave right now.
Well, not machinist. You're a professional engineer.
Actually, I'm not. It's a hard distinction.
Really?
A PE, as in a professional engineer, is actually a protected class of worker. Any degree engineer can become a PE, but it's a big, expensive, and very difficult task you have to take to get certification of professional engineer. So yeah, it's an actual title.
I didn't realize it. Well, actually, never mind. Engineers are definitely that picky.
Yeah. So like when you're actually like the architect and engineer that design like full size buildings or big projects professionally, you need an actual PE, a certified PE to do that. In Canada, just the word engineer is protected as a term.
So you're an amateur engineer.
All Canadians actually take a very similar test to what we call the PE test. So in Canada, all engineers are almost equivalent to a PE in the US.
So you're saying I want to, if I need an engineer, I want to just go to Canada and grab one of theirs.
I'm saying in Canada, you can't abuse the name. So in the US, you can have a janitor call himself a sanitation engineer with no formal training, but because the word engineer is just like a word you use. In Canada, that's illegal. If you say you're a sanitation engineer, you better have actually taken some form of formal classing and taken an exam that proves you know a lot about the actual engineering behind a sanitation system. Or it's like in the US, we use the term software engineer. It's almost never used in Canada. Software engineer is not a thing for them.
So it's just software developer?
Or developer, period, yeah. It's like we use the term just generally mean things that are created. Or like we also use engineer, like in the Navy, an engineer would be somebody that actually does stuff with steam, pipes.
So someone that works at Subway is not a sandwich engineer.
Right.
But in America, they could be.
Yes, because it's not a protected term. We have other terms that are protected, like doctor. You can't be a doctor of whatever you want for the funsies. It's not allowed.
You had to have a doctorate in whatever you're claiming.
Yes. So in Canada, it's the same way, but the word engineer is protected for all classes.
See, that confused me so much as a kid. Like, how can someone be a doctor that doesn't do doctor stuff?
Yeah, right?
Like, I didn't realize a doctorate was like an actual just a certification. Like, it wasn't just because you got.
It's bad language. It's just a better word.
Like, it's not just because you decided to be a doctor in school. It's a type of certification.
You actually have to have a PhD or a doctorate. And medical doctors get a different thing. So, fun.
It's almost like the American education system. It's kind of a sham.
Yeah, it's all kind of whack. So yes, I am a professional, and I am an engineer, but I'm not a professional engineer. I don't know if I know anybody that does have their PE.
Well, I guess since it's not, you still have to technically go through school to be considered an engineer.
In the U.S., it's not a term, so no.
So I am an engineer because I engineer parts.
Correct. You can call yourself whatever you want.
I have an AS in BS.
Yeah, good.
I feel like calling myself an engineer would seem wrong since I didn't go through any type of schooling.
I mean, it's the U.S. You do what you want.
But
You can't do it again.
But at the same point, I feel like I engineer more parts than a lot of engineers I know.
Yeah, and that's another thing about engineering. Is like engineering is not just about designing parts. That's why engineering
It's also
is
like
such a wide field. And even mechanical engineers, which is what I am, there's also still a huge field of specialty I can go into. So if you want to learn how to do stuff in CAD, we only had to graduate. We only take 2 CAD classes. So there's still plenty more I have to learn and want to learn that other people with no degree at all could be doing a lot better than me.
Said. Literally, I am an associate of science. According to UK.
Just an associate degree of sciences, or you have an associate in a certain category. I have an associate's of science degree, and I think mine's with an engineering specialty, and then I have a bachelor's in mech. I might have 2 associate's degrees. I might have one from DAC and one from Parkland, and it literally doesn't matter. It just proves you did some math.
Said. No, it's that broad.
Yeah.
I just know some science.
Yeah, it means you did some good math. Did some physics. Or bio. So that shaft is ready?
Ready for bearings.
Said. They asked me if I wanted arts or science.
You got the pick? That's awesome.
But yeah, that shaft's ready for bearings.
Trash. This is 6 speed. No.
Yes.
It's gotta be.
No, that's 5.
It's gotta be 5, right?
Yeah, that can go away. Permanently.
Well,
Scrap that bitch.
what if I need parts? I'll wait to scrap at least 3 or build. How about that? I also need to start collecting 5th gears. So when people say, hey, I want to build a transmission with these ratios, I have those on hand. So I pulled the Protege set off before I scrap the Protege stuff. So that tag right there, that's Protege, that's 755.
I mean, there are 4 or 5
Slayer.
different 5th gears just for G5s.
Yeah.
So, with all the intricate work involved with front wheel bearings, is it possible to replace brake rotors and reassemble with original wheel bearings, etc., without needing specialty tools for spacers?
If you take it out with a press and the bearings are still fine before you take them out, there's a good chance you can press it back together. If you use a hammer to take it apart, there's a good chance you're going to wreck the bearings.
Yeah. You got to take it apart carefully. You have to do not drop it in dirt, and then do your best to repack the grease in the bearings without pulling the bearings off, and then put it all back together.
Spray the hell out of it to get the old bearing grease out, and repack it with fresh grease.
Said. I have my bachelor's of applied science in HVAC technology, and a bachelor's in rubber technology.
What does that mean?
What the hell's a rubber technology?
Yeah, what's a bachelor in rubber technology?
There's a lot of rubber.
I didn't know you could special. A bachelor's in rubber technology or a minor? I mean,
Can you
nowadays
spec-
I don't think you can do a bachelor in rubber tech. I think now you could do a master's or a bachelor's in some form of engineering with a minor in and another 2 minor in a specialty.
Would that be just material science or something? Or
Yeah, stuff like that. Well, nowadays, yeah, material science maybe. But I know we definitely don't offer anything specialized in rubber at U of I or UK. And I already had to take material science. It was pretty cool.
material science, just in general, is a really cool thing. It sucks it's so difficult.
A lot of material.
There's a lot of materials out there.
What are these?
Good question. I think that's
You
your
may have
third
gone
year.
to school back in the day and you could have a double major.
Bill definitely went to school back in the day. That's not a mayhap.
Bill's been out of school longer than we've been living.
By a good bit.
By probably both of us together. That might be pushing it.
Bill's probably been out of school since my parents started school.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Slayer said, "Good info, guys. I do have a shock press and understand that the original bearings can be easily damaged."
Yes, and getting the right tool to replace the bearings is hard, but not impossible. Getting new shims and using the tool to measure those shims is basically impossible.
The tool's not hard. You can make the tool yourself at home. Getting the shims is the hard part.
Because they're saying that, like everybody just has a lathe in the back corner of the garage to make the tool.
If he has a shop press, he has to have some. He has that mindset, so he should know someone with the lathe. Everybody has a buddy with the lathe; they just don't know it yet.
Slayer said, "Is it the changing of bearings that make the spacers and tools needed?"
Yes. So your old bearings are like a certain thickness total, and the preload for a Festiva is not based on the nut. It's based entirely on the spacer, the preload spacer. It actually tells you how much preload you're putting on the bearings and you tighten everything down. When you get new bearings, even though they're supposed to be the same spec, they can vary by a few thousandths of an inch, a few half millimeters, microns even, who knows. But every time you vary that slight thickness, you have to have a new preload spacer to make up for that. And the tool is what you use to measure that thickness. And to use a tool, you don't just put in a universal thing and it spits out the number. You physically put in a spacer, you tighten everything down, you measure it. If it's too tight, you go down a size and do it all over again. If it's too loose, you go up a size and do it all over again. Over and over until you hit the right number. So you can't just have one spacer. You need one of every size on hand to do the job. And whichever one doesn't be the right one, it's left in there. It's kind of insane to do it that way.
And if both your hubs need the same size, you need to have two of every size, technically.
Yep. So imagine needing one of every size of 21 spacers, and realistically you need two of each. And spoiler alert, they're gone. They don't exist anymore. You can't buy those spacers anywhere. Yeah, not Mazda, not Kia.
Yeah, we can't even
Ford.
get them anymore.
I can't get them from my contacts. They're not available in Japan, not available in Korea, not available in the UAE. It doesn't matter. They're gone.
The ones that Paul Short has, the person who rebuilds our hubs for us, I think he had those made.
He did. He pays a machinist to make them out of hardened, chromoly tubing. And you can't just chuck it up with a lathe and cut it off and call it good because they are very exact thickness.
It has to be surface ground.
So then you take the cutoffs and put on a surface grinder for each size down to the thousandths of an inch, plus or minus 2, I think, per spacer size. It's not fun.
I
don't like doing it. I have the tools and I have spacers here. I don't like doing it.
Are they only down to the thousandths in terms of spec? Or is it down to the 10,000?
Slayer
I can tell you.
Said, "Are they worth saving from parts cars?"
If you're going to scrap it, yes.
Yacht Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru, said, "Yo, what's up, bro?"
Oh, hello. You're here just in time to watch us lose steam and take a break. We have a second shaft put together, but what you're seeing now is shafts that suck ass.
"Probably different now. I took it at the College of Akron. We learned how rubber is compounded. I graduated high school in 1986.
Yeah.
If that tells you anything. I left the Navy in 96.
And that's when Steve and I were born. So
Akron, Ohio? I'm pretty sure Akron has a tire factory up there now. Maybe that's where they got all their engineers from.
What are we talking about? Wheels,
rubber,
axle.
Oh,
steering.
Yeah. So the thing is, even new bearings, the completely sealed units that you just bolt on, or the ones that you press in, that has both bearings, they still have a preload spacer in there. It's more built into the bearing itself, but they still need that space for preload.
Yes, Akron, Ohio.
What was it? There is a tire factory up there. I can't remember who it is. It starts with a P, I think. Maybe. I bought a Bronco from up
the
there.
The Ford Escort Guru said, "What final drive are y'all using with the 6-speed?"
Two different.
Oh, wait, what happened?
Justin Lipp said, "Bill is only 14 years ahead of me. Class of 2000, baby."
Laptop, what the hell? Why'd you time out?
We got it back.
Okay,
so we're using two different ones for the transmissions we're building. I don't know if we have sound back. Oh yeah, it's still kind of. We look super blurry.
It's just it's on low.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's two options for final drive with 6-speed. You can have a 4.105 or a 4.388. On both Festiva transmissions, we are using a 4.105.
Said. That's insane. So basically not many people in the world capable of doing proper front wheel bearing jobs. Too bad I'm on Paul Short's shit list. Maybe he'll just shine up my rotors, seems how they still wore.
Yeah, I can do it
Dodge
too.
Racing Team, the Ford Escort guru, said. I can hear you. Bill Taylor said. I hear you fine.
Alright, we just lost the computer for a second.
Yeah, the computer went crazy.
Yeah, Adam, if you want, I can do your wheel bearings. I'll charge more than Paul does, though, because I hate it. And then, yes, final diff ratios. You have two options of the 6-speed, 4.105 or 4.388. My recommendation is use the one that matches your transmission currently. That way it makes using the differential you have already very easy. In this case, we're building one for my KL. Our donor was from a probe, and the probe is 4.388. So we're using a 4.388 donor G6. That way we can drop the probe diff right in and not have to worry about the ring gear thickness. For the Festiva stuff, on the B6T side of the transmission, those are 3.95, which is not available in the 6-speed. So we're converting to the next best option, which is a 4.105. A 4.388 and a Festiva would suck butts because Festivas use tiny tires. And tiny tires means a lot of revs on the interstate with a 4.38 diff. Really, we'd like to go lower. If I could import like a 3.4 or a 3.8 diff for a 6-speed, I would, but they don't exist. And 6-speeds only came on cars with bigger tires, therefore they came with shorter final drops.
And to that extent, if you try to import a diff, you also have to have the output shaft that matches the diff ratio. Because the gear for the diff is part of the shaft.
Yeah, when I say import the thing, I mean the whole transmission.
Yeah.
Which I'm still trying to do to get that one crazy gear. Actually, Mazda JP is working on getting me a gear. I don't know what it is. I looked. There's one of the 6-speeds I opened up, and it had two options for 6th gear.
Mm-hmm.
One just said the part number followed by parentheses EU, and the other one was the same part number parentheses Russia.
Russia loves tall gears.
I know. That's what the DSI, the direct injection 2.0 with the G6 has this.
Oh, is that possibly 6
.64.
point? Yeah.
So but it was discontinued. But this is a different part number that says just Russia parentheses. So it doesn't say what ratio it is. I said try it. So hopefully it comes in and I'll get to play with it.
Is that just the one side gear? Or do you get both of them? Like,
I
is
got
it,
both.
okay.
Yeah.
So we can actually do some math and figure out. Yeah.
All right, Steven, you ready to do conversions in your head?
Not at all, but I'll try.
Okay, hang on. I'll do some math. Which one of these is the easiest to do subtraction with?
What are you trying to do?
Spacer differences.
Oh.
Racing Team, the
Okay.
Ford Escort guru, said. Oh, okay, I gotcha. What's the 6th gear ratio?
That
Good
depends.
question. Yeah, what transmission? So your options vary from 0.755 down to 0.68. And really, 5th and 6th gear are the same gear set. So theoretically, you can use as high as a 0.836, although that'd be the same as 5th. So you can have 5th and 6th both be 0.837, all the way down to both 5th and 6th being 0.68, with every option between beginning, if you don't count the rare ones I can't find yet. If you want me to build you a trans right now, I can get you almost any ratio you want for 5th and 6th between 0.68, 0.717, 0.755, 0.795, and 0.837. Thank God I wrote that down. Someday I'll forget this shit. Okay, Steven, each spacer varies by 0.04 millimeters.
Does it not have the...
It does. It says 0.2794 to 0.2778.
Is that like the full range?
That's just between one spacer.
Okay, let me bring out my calculator.
Well, here, 7.8 minus 6.2. That's easier math right there. So 16
Point
thou.
Only
Each spacer varies by 16 thou.
only 3 digits or 4 digits?
0.2778 minus 0.2762.
Minus 0.276. Wait, 27762?
2778 minus 2762.
276.
Yeah, so 0.00.
That's 10,000, tell me.
Yeah.
So 1.6 thousandths. Or 16 10,000ths. So yes, you need a surface grinder.
Yes. That's the difference. So whoever was asking about the spacers earlier, that's the type of difference we're talking about. Like 0.04 millimeters. It's half a human hair.
We're not talking about thousands. We're talking about 10,000s. That's almost better.
Racing team, the Ford Escort Guru, said, "Oh, okay, I gotcha. We use the .072 fifth gear."
You can
717, which is a good upgrade. So normally your Escort stuff would be .795 or .755, depending on the year and the version, for most. And the Protege was 755. And then the later Escort, the ZX2 Z-Tech one, I believe, had the .717 along with the early MX6. And that's considered your upgrade gear. For everybody that wants better highway cruising, you go to the 717, which rounds up to .72.
Or top speed for crazy people.
Yes. And then I found the diesel gear a couple years ago, which only came in the 5-speed in the 323 diesel in Europe, which gives you a .68 fifth, which was really cool. And now, as we discovered, the .68 fifth was used for a few of the 6 speeds as their 6th gear.
Yeah, I almost wonder if that's who Mazda Japan sourced those from. It's from the 6 speeds, not from the actual diesel.
The part number that's revision B is probably the 6-speed number. The number for the gear is G56, so it was the in-between gear. Stuff that's just for the G6 would be G611.
Slayer said, "So far I do not need them done, but being as it's a 92 with 19k miles, I'm just looking out for the future.
Bro, you got like
so
15
far, I've
years in the
actually
future.
only driven in a couple of miles."
If it's only got 19k on it, I would not even touch the brake rotors. I would just leave that whole damn thing alone. I'd get new pads on it.
If
I'd just cut the surface and send it.
If your rotors are scored or bad, you can have them ground on the car. You don't have to take them off.
Okay, if you find somebody,
If you can find somebody that still does
the
it.
machine.
They do have on-car drum or rotor grinding. It does a thing. I haven't seen it in person, but you can still find the machines every now and again on Marketplace. It's actually a really cool service.
Changing the spacer thickness by one number will change bearing preload by 1.7 to 3.5 inch-pounds. So there you go.
Also, if you like way too tight, you can kind of do the math to figure out roughly what your spacer needs to be.
Yes.
Do you know how much Paul pays for spacers? I'm kind of just mentally
Slayer
thinking if I can beat his price.
I doubt it.
"I've been known to do him up with an ankle grinder." Dustin Lee said, "Will, are you gonna autocross this year? Steven, do you want to come out?"
I don't know who the hell
Chunk
Stefan
Slayer
is.
said, "Works way better than doing nothing at all."
Yeah, Stefan's not here, but Steven would probably come out. Yeah, Steven's car is going to be done soon. And ready for autocross.
There's a big asterisk there. I'm waiting for Will's car to be done.
Well, your Aqua will be.
Oh yeah, Aqua should be done.
You're already on my tires. You're on my autocross tires right now.
Aqua needs to be done before April, so.
Yeah. Am I on autocross this year? Maybe.
Said, "Our local Midas grinds rotors
Hell yeah,
on the car."
I knew someone still did it. It's such a cool process.
Dustin, I still haven't parted out the Blue Miata yet, and I have new calipers for it. So I might autocross the Blue Miata just to see it fall apart on track for funsies. But the autocross car, for Festiva reasons, is...
The Ford Escort Guru said,
What did I just do?
"Yeah, I'm currently using the Mazda Speed Protege Torsen LSD in Donatello."
Yeah, so you're already at 4.105, so it'd be easy for you to get an LS or a 6-speed. So yeah, the yellow car buried in the crap back there. You can see, hang on, I can't see my own arm because there's a delay. Somewhere over here, yeah, you can see some yellow right about there. That's the yellow car that I was supposed to be building for autocross last year, and it's still there, gutted and full of its own parts. And then I thought I'd autocross V2, but V2 is probably not actually going to be done until the fall/early winter. By which I mean like November.
I think summertime would be good, especially if I don't have classes. We'll be getting a lot of work done.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Because what?
Said, "I've always got extra seats and cars available."
Yeah, I mean, I've got plenty of cars to do it. The question is how competitive I want to be.
I'll autocross in the Subaru if I have to.
There you go. But yeah, the yellow Festiva is done, or my daily, the yellow LX can be autocrossed on its winter tires, no problem. I want to autocross the Blue Miata just for funsies, and Steven should have at least one Festiva ready for not the very beginning of the season, but early on in the season.
When does the season even start?
It's a question for Dustin. I don't know when the season opener is. I saved the schedule with my phone.
I never got it because I've never signed up. So
But as always, I think we'd probably be the only people in Street Modified front wheel drive SMF. So
we'll be competing against each other.
yeah, basically.
Unless I take the Subaru, then I'll be.
Well, no, the yellow car I could do stock. It'd be just H or F class.
Said. It's like 3 weeks.
Yeah, but the opener is just a test and tune, right? When's the first points event?
Also, I probably wouldn't even be able to do that anyways because my car's rust free. So the roads ain't gonna be clear in 3 weeks.
Maybe.
I mean, I could just hose it off really good afterwards.
We can co-drive the Miata.
I'm gonna wreck so many cones. I've never drove rear-wheel drive
That's fine.
besides a truck.
The only real drive I've driven in.
Said. First points is mid-April.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, maybe. We might be in Japan.
Oh shit. Now our entire April's pretty much filled. The first week is
Yacht
Japan.
Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru, said. We plan on building a 4.38 transmission with the 0.725th. After I'm done with other projects.
Well, you could do that with a 6-speed, but also have a 6 gear then. You know, have a 6 for cruising if you wanted. Keep 5 for racing.
Yeah. What's your reasoning for 7.2 on the fifth? Are you trying to stay in power in fifth? Like actually make fifth usable on track for more RPM
Or just not
more
want
torque?
Does not want to spend the money on the nicer 6 gear. Or 0.68 for 5th. Do you even have any 0.68s left?
Yeah, I one. Well, I have 3. I was saving 1 or 2 for myself, but I can add them back in for you. And I just asked Monster JP for 2 more pairs. I asked for like 8 pairs a while back, and they said, "Oh, sure." I was like, "Okay, never mind." I thought you'd say no. They said yes. I was like, I didn't have $1,200, whatever it was, to buy 8 at a time. Or
Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru, said. Highway use. I drive the car on the street too.
Yeah, if it's for highway cruising, I would definitely go to the 0.68 or
Get a
6-speed.
Yeah, 6 speeds come with the 0.68 or asterisks. Come with the 0.68.
Yeah. There is a 4.388 6-speed that comes with the 0.68, and then you get all the advantages of the extra strength of the 6-speed along with a better cruising gear. Would recommend. And then you can put a very short fifth in it. You put an 8.3 fifth in it, and then have power in fifth on a track potentially. Do highway pulls.
Plus,
and then
if you care about power in 5th, it has the extra bearing set for strength. Because we actually know someone that sheared 5th gear from power. Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
The fact you still have enough power in overdrive.
That just means
Just bearings.
what rides on. Were the bearing rides on that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was tooth on that
At
bearing.
least I hope so. That's where it was.
Is that just a 6-speed thing?
Oh,
that's
completely
input
different shaft.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, that's easy enough then. We'll do that on camera tomorrow. That's fine. All right,
Yeah,
so now we got to build the input shaft.
We gonna do it tonight?
Might as well, right?
Yeah, I don't think. Wait, no, the input shaft's done.
Is it?
Yeah, it just needs this put back together since it kind of. Remember how it fell apart before on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just held together by the bearing.
Slayer said. Yup, the old Festiva is going to be a fair weather car, although it likely spent some of its 19K in Maine winter weather roads. Seems how it still has Cooper snow tires on it.
Those are hard to find.
I'm surprised they haven't exploded if they're still, that new.
Okay, it's just a bearing on that then.
Yeah.
Should we just install that now then?
I mean, you're the one who said that that's how it came apart, so I'm assuming
Yes.
so. This looks like a bearing surface.
Yes, it does.
So,
All right, we need the thing.
I figured we'd install the bearings with the press, but especially if you are buying one.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
If you want, we can put this one on just so it holds it together, because we do have the tools. It is, an actual tool to hammer the bearing on. We just need to make sure we pick the right bearing, because there are like 4 different sizes. We have more
Slayer
viewers now at 1 o'clock than we
said,
did back then.
just a little weather cracking. Want to buy? They are collectible.
Yeah, rare.
Haha.
Rare tire.
You're finding any snow tire in general for a 12 right now is just impossible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it could.
It's like your tires soak in ATF for like a week, deflated.
That is
And then
the
sell 'em.
case side, which is the identical bearings.
Yeah.
So that'll be the
boxes, I
NSKs.
think.
Yeah. Which are. We're here.
They weren't here. I didn't move anything for her. They were earned.
They was. There was her. Are they over here now?
Well, they aren't anymore.
What?
3rd and 4th still shift pretty good. But I guess they couldn't get going fast enough to wreck those too bad. Although 3rd definitely had the worst synchro.
Do we actually? Are they?
I'm telling you, they were not over here.
Chat, roll back the film. Where the frick are my bearings?
They don't got that film unless they go to the old video.
Yeah, somebody in chat, go to the other video in a new tab and scroll through it. So there's 2 little bearings. They're NSK boxes. No, they aren't. They aren't in boxes.
Oh, you took them out of the box?
No, I needed them. The ones in the boxes are for that,
No.
right?
No. The diff ones were by themselves. They weren't in boxes.
The whole butter.
You can go grab another bearing kit to verify, but I am
gonna-
almost certain the diff ones were not in boxes.
I'm almost certain you don't know what you're saying.
I'm certain you might press the wrong ones on.
I had more bearing
Casing team, the Ford Escort Guru, said, y'all need a filing cabinet for all the parts.
Dude, you
so
can't even
don't
see the
use
wrong.
them.
You can't even see this direction.
Justin Lill said, way too many white claws for that.
Jeez. Y'all, you talk about filing cabinets, you're missing out. Like, we're organizing it by tub. So I have like 30 of these Dollar Tree oil trays, and there's more over there. Like, you guys aren't seeing the half of the mess of how I actually did this organization in Luke's quotes.
Remember how I overextended the shifter and it popped out?
Excuse me?
Remember how I overextended the shifter and the paws
Said.
popped out?
Yeah?
You
I
didn't
may have did the
fit
same
them on
thing.
the diff, did you? Yacht Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru, said, OMG flushed face.
I'm just messing with them. It's impossible to put them on. Those are the right ones on the diff. They're way bigger than the rest of the bearings.
Said,
Yeah, they physically
still
can't
more
put one on
organized
the
than
other.
my shop.
Oh my god, what did I just open? Oh, no. What?
What is it?
No, it's fine. It's fine, I think. These are packaged differently than the other ones were.
Oh, it looks.
Ah! What the hell? There's rust all over this bearing.
It looks like you got very moist.
It did, but it got rusty. Like, actually, badly. I mean, I'm sure it'll wipe off.
Is it just the outside or the part that matters? Oh, that's just the outside. Oh, that's just the inside.
Is it the outside or the inside?
I mean,
The other inside. The other inside. Jesus Christ. But it's packaged differently. I wonder if that's a different kit. Because actually, they have a different part number for a kit for the Escort. It's slightly different. I don't know why. Where the French dressing are these bearings at?
There we go.
I'm going to punch
Said.
it.
I spent a half hour in my
Hang
shop
on, hang
earlier
on.
looking for my JIS screwdriver. It was in my pocket, man face palming.
I'm going to press table overhead for a second. Alright, let's see here.
The Ford Escort Guru.
Hang on. So right here, this
Glad
hammer.
to see that we are keeping these old platforms
This is
alive.
Steven's head right here. All right, this is his line of sight. You guys cannot see the bearings in chat, and Steven cannot see the bearings. This is line of sight to the left. I'm trying to see if I'm actually getting this on camera. Yeah, there we go. So this hammer represents his line of sight right now. Steven? Right there. This was perfectly on it for you to not see it from your angle whatsoever.
They literally-
And if I had asked chat, they also cannot see it at all.
It could not be in a better, worse place.
Incredible. All right.
Remember how I spent all the time figuring out how these clips go together?
Yeah.
Completely forgot.
Yeah. After you broke it? Yeah.
You know, fourth and fifth, or fifth and sixth, don't have these little teeth.
Which teeth?
The ones I'm fighting with.
Oh.
Yeah, the rest of these need to be like fourth and fifth.
Oh, by the way, the manual also states when you're putting these synchros in that these little missing parts actually help you identify if it's for first gear or for second gear.
Nice. Well, I just put them in whichever ones fit, so I don't think they actually matter, considering they're identical other than like that marker.
Well, we're just doing what Ford Mazda says.
Well, if it was from the visual manual, that's what King Ford said.
They got their visuals straight from Mazda. That's why the Festiva one is a right-hand drive Festiva with all pictures mirrored. If you look at the radio and the HVAC controls, they're backwards. And on the picture of the side profile, the gas door's on the wrong side because they flipped it, so the steering wheel looked like it was on the left.
No, I wonder how much money they paid for someone to design that. Like, if it was enough that they didn't want to do it twice. They probably figured Americans.
I think Ford just figured that nobody would care.
Like, it's just a $5,000 car. Who cares?
Slayer said, "It's a Ford."
Gross. I don't do Fords. Despite having like 35 Ford titles in my title box and paying a lot of money for a brand new Ford.
Ah. I guess it doesn't seem locked in. Oh, it is. It actually has steps on the T, so you can't overextend it. I guess that's so you don't pop those tiny little things out of place.
Put it in the microwave?
Maybe not the microwave. Toaster oven for sure.
Fried pussycat.
You know, have we ever owned a fully Ford? I have, because I had that old Escort.
Said, "Did you make
Maverick.
the table
Is the Maverick
yourself?"
fully Ford, though?
That's all there. It's US only.
No, it's not. The transmission's Toyota, technically.
That's all new cars.
Yeah.
All new cars. I mean, the new 10-speed that's in every Ford and Chevy was co-developed by Ford and Chevy.
Yes, they did make this table. It is a bowling alley.
Yeah, so this is a chunk of old bowling alley with really strong feet. Really big iron, or not iron, big steel legs that are nice and thick.
It is very not waterproof.
Yeah, the point was to reseal it. The goal was to shave it down and actually put epoxy all over it, which we need to do because I don't know if you saw what's happening over there where we've been hitting stuff all day.
Oh.
It needs a nice thick epoxy.
It needs to be pressure washed. Got all the crap from the cracks, and then
No, they'll leave the crap in the cracks.
You want the craps in the cracks?
The thick poly will start to fill them, and the next layer will.
Well, no, I say spray it out. Get some long all thread.
It looks really cool at this angle.
It's really cool at all angles.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's
pretty
a nice
cool.
table.
You use some all thread through it. That way you can clamp it together really good. Then epoxy it. That way all the epoxy will fill the cracks. I guess.
Be a long drill bit.
They make drill bit extenders.
Yeah, I use them to do our wiring.
Yeah.
Just a half-inch tip and like a foot long, and it's got another flexi bit to go on top of that.
Or like the ones that you use for inside walls. That's what you're talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious when my brain starts going half capacity.
Isn't he? The Ford
It's like
Escort guru.
It's like a lithium battery.
Put some sealer on that table. World of difference. Dustin Lib said, "Also, is the Maverick all Ford?" Chunkfest Layer said, "I've been thinking about manual swapping my Ford E150 with 4.6.
I wouldn't Ford anything with the Ford. Yes, sealer. Yeah, we'll get there someday. I'm lazy.
Need to get stuff off.
Hang on, there's another chat message coming before I can answer all the questions. I already saw it pop on the left.
Said, "Let's see, we have a 13 Edge and a 94 Bronco. Do those count?"
94 Bronco is definitely Korean. Yes, I think it counts. The Maverick, yes, the Maverick's all Ford. It's a Ford well, again, it's like, what do you mean by all Ford? It's only made by Ford. It's only sold in North America. I think it's actually only sold in Canada and the U.S. It's made in Mexico, and people in Mexico can't even buy it. How fun is that? Technically, the engine is a 2.5. It's based on the Duratec, which is based on the Mazda L Series MZR. And the transmission is the same style of one used by the Prius, but Toyota didn't design it. It's an ACE-in or a Gertrag, whatever. It's not their design. They license the design from a transmission company like ACE-in or Gertrag. It's the different version of that one from the Toyota, but it's not Toyota's transmission. And the engine is the Duratec / L Series, which you could say it's a Mazda trans, you could say it's a Ford trans, you could say it's co-developed between the two of them. The rest of it's all Ford. The body, panels, the interior, it's not based on anything else.
The Ford Escort Guru said, Europe helps out Ford a lot.
Yes, and Europe, I know Ford Europe helped with the brakes because I know somebody on the brake team that helped design the brakes on the Maverick. And he actually told me that you should be able to more or less bolt on Focus ST brakes onto a Maverick if you wanted to. I don't know if it's harder with the hybrid or not, but you definitely can with the EcoBoost. But anyway, the Maverick is just a Ford Escape, and the Ford Escape is just the multi-platform thing that Ford made between Ford and Ford Europe. So yes, the Maverick is all Ford, but they did a good job with it. That's why I have one.
You don't even need brake pads with the Maverick, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not tuning it, obviously. All right, while it's heating up, I gave you the Doodle Dad, but we also want the big auto thing to smack it down. I think.
I'm holding this Doodle Dad so it doesn't, doodle away.
Slayer
Again.
said, come on now. Early 2000s were the last of the Ford trucks with manual transmissions, and I'm sure there's some Mazda lineage there. M50D.
The Mazda lineage actually ended in '94 for the Ford trucks.
The Ford Escort Guru said, my Ford Focus SVT had a Getrack 6-speed tranny.
Yeah. Oh, funny. I think we're hurting it.
No.
We should be more careful.
Bigger hammer. It spreads the load out more.
Actually, how close
Slayer
is this?
said,
Oh,
No.
yeah. Bang, bang, bang.
Nope, to what? In terms of okay. I know for certain that the Ranger and the B Series truck split off in '94. That's when the Ranger started becoming its own thing. Before that, the Ranger and Mazda B Series trucks were the same-ish.
And even now, Mazda makes a version of the Ranger, and it's awful. And I don't know if Mazda has any say in the mechanicals.
Said, Ford Ranger with manual trans.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. That doesn't mean that.
What about it?
Yeah, we need a little bit of more information.
Mazda is still making the BT50.
Slayer said, M50DR1. Dustin Lib said, opposite. Chunk Slayer said, M50DR2.
The M doesn't stand for Mazda.
Hot bearings.
These ones aren't as tight of a press fit, so they should go on a little nicer.
Yeah, get at it.
Mazda truck was Mazda till 94. It was Ford after.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want Mazda stuff because I want a B Series truck. That's actually Mazda.
Where'd I put the... There. Can I have that?
Listen, the Ford Escort
Not on the table!
said, the M stands for manual.
Put on this.
Oh. We're losing temperature. Go!
It's on, right?
I think so. I think that backlash is about normal.
I can hit some more.
No, I think that's it. Hey, we can put the snout against something metal and hit it, and you'll hear the difference.
Said, I see them for sale all the time. I'll send you some links.
Do not do that.
No,
Not
Steam does not
right
let me buy
now.
anything right now. Stop it.
We're going to Japan in April. I cannot spend any money right now.
And he's already.
Said.
I've already just bought half a new
These
kitchen.
4WD Rangers had Mazda manual trans in them, but not all.
Well, that's because the Rangers in the 80s were partially Mazda.
But also, Fords are ass, and I wouldn't own one except the Maverick's pretty sick. And I have two S10s, and that's how it's going to stay. Where is the other that tool? No. This is your kit because you broke this.
I broke what? Did I break that? I don't even know what that is.
It's the cone installer. You just use the hammer on it. Now it's ugly. I don't like ugly.
So it's not broken.
Said. Why do all of the manual transmissions from 4.0 LBS fit any year Ranger 4.0 or Explorer 4.0?
Because the 4 liters of Ford engine.
Yeah, like any 4-liter stuff, the bell housing matches. It makes sense. Doesn't mean it's Mazda. The 4-liter's not a Mazda engine.
In fact, the 4 liter never came in anything Mazda.
Said. We should race my B2K VS your Teal S10.
Deal.
That would be pretty close.
I do need your help, actually. The other set I have of this is dual stock. Like, the case is clean. It's weird. But there's no sticker. So I don't know what kit it is. I mean, I know which kit it is, but it's weird not a sticker. So if you could clone
Oh, wait,
that,
you have a B2K?
Yeah, you showed it to you.
It's
It's on Respo,
The Ford
baby.
Escort
Dude, you know my memory.
said. So just wondering, how much do you have in your 6-speed?
He didn't hear you for that. Don't ask him. That's depressing.
How much do I have into this? Oh my god. So we're building 3. Between the... I just scared myself. Like, who the fuck's walking behind me? So tired I am. Between these 3 transmissions, we're like $5,000 or $6,000 in the hole. Plus time, plus like the research, and I made the Excel document. I've done so much research to things that don't matter. So yeah, we'll not talk about it. Besides, I'm buried in the hole.
So please buy a transmission from him.
Look at the case. It's a blow mold yesterday.
I see a big ass hole.
Yeah, it's
I think I picked up the transmission at your house in it.
Oh, probably. Don't.
Yacht Racing
You're
Team,
overestimating
the
my
Ford Escort
memory.
Guru, said. OMG Holly SH dollar.
Yes.
Chunk Slayer said. So you are saying, some of the manual trans are Mazda and some are Ford.
Yes.
Ha ha ha, please tell me more.
See, the funny thing is, in the Ranger specifically, they use like 5 different manual transmissions. It's insane.
Yeah,
Like
the Ranger, the early especially ones had so many options.
Well, it's not even.
Said. Development work ain't cheap.
Yeah, Ryle knows.
Like, the crazy thing is, it's not even like 5 different transmissions across the entire year range. Like, they had like 5 different options for a certain year range. Because we had that trouble when we were trying to find a transmission for my brother's Ranger. Because they're all work, like chassis and everything, locations are the same. But the M5OD, M5, M05, whatever the hell it is, was the better one out of all of them.
Yeah, so the money we put into this, we do it because A, I like to try the new stuff, and B, when I can do stuff like this for the community and share what I've learned, I do.
And C, we're slightly
The
fiscally
Ford Escort
irresponsible.
Guru said. Nah, I build our trannies, G Series, and 4.8S.
Yeah, and now we also can, if anybody wants me to do rebuild work, not just 6-speed stuff, rebuild work, we now have all the tools needed to do E-Series, F-Series, and G-Series. So, yay.
Said. It's basically R&D.
Yeah, it's not basically, it is. This is an ass load of R and then an ass load of D following it.
Way
This
too
is
much
like,
D.
This is like 4.5 months worth of learning that this is a thing to
Like,
learning as much as I could about it as possible to doing it.
like, did you see the thumbnail for this video? It's definitely a lot of D.
Yeah, long D.
Long, very hard D. Some hard
But
checks.
we already got one done. There's the first one in the world is done, and it's in Steven's yard. And the second one.
Oh, come on.
is
You know I
almost
didn't
done.
put it in my yard. It's in my basement.
Okay, let's say it's probably still in the back of your car.
Now, the case halves are in the yard, though, because they're getting melted anyways.
Slayer
The old ones.
Yeah.
said. I've replaced a few M5OD and have always been able to just grab any old Ranger 4.0 manual trans and it works mint.
Yeah. As long as the bell housing is the same, it doesn't matter who makes it. But there are quite a few different options for manual transmissions in Rangers.
Because the Ranger had the 2.3, the 4.0.
Well, I'm not talking about just sizes, like companies that made them. Like physically different transmissions.
Oh, for the M5?
Yeah, for the 5 speeds.
I know in the S10, the T5 on the 2.8 is like a totally different brand and bell housing pattern from the T5 on the 2.5. And then the T5 on the 4.3 is even different still, and that one is compatible with the LS.
Said 4.0 OHV and 4.0 SOC have same bell housing. Yacht Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru, said, do y'all mess with any of the autos?
No. And it's not partially because autos suck. It's because for the Festiva, we only had the hydraulically actuated autos, and we can only get that in a 3-speed unless we find the rare 4-speed one that's in the 323s, I believe.
Yeah, like
so
only 2 years.
So we can't easily hook up an electronic one, and it's not much advantage for us, anyways.
Yeah, so for us, the 3 speeds is not worth. It's strong, like it's great. You don't really have to mess with it because it just works.
But you're like 6,000 RPM on the highway. It's terrible.
The 3 speeds are just not very conducive to anything.
Lim said, have you seen the Ford Ranger viral meme song?
The old one, the Ford fucking Ranger one, or something else? Because I've seen that one.
I don't think anybody hasn't.
I don't know. Sometimes people don't.
Everybody knows the meme at least. Anybody that's ever heard or seen a Ranger in their life has heard Ford fucking Ranger.
Michelle might not know it. She knows what a Ranger is, but probably doesn't know the song. Alright, it's 1:16 a.m. There's 7 people in here.
Said, but Will's not a Ford guy, lol, but yeah, FYI Ford 3.0 equals garbage, 2.3 equals bomb-proof, but not same trans as 4.0.
The 2.3...
Justin Lim said, yeah, that one. Yacht Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru, said, oh, okay, I gotcha. I built my wife's automatic in her Escort GT.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Is that, what's his name? Starts with a C?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of his name now. It's just, I can't think of much right now anyways. But
yes.
Because he's the only guy I know that does Escorts and autos.
Yes. The other thing is, hang on, I'm losing my track of thought. Yeah, the Escort GT was the only...
The Ford
That's
Escort
what it
Guru
is.
Yeah.
Said, Corin.
I didn't want to say it out loud in case you didn't want to be doxxed online, but yes, it is Corin. The Escort GT was like the only big engine car that came auto. The B6T never came automatic. The B6T was only 5-speed G series. They never offered an automatic B6T car in the U.S. I don't think they did overseas either. And then the BP came with a couple autos, and then I guess that's it, really.
Auto's the only reason that BP can survive.
Yeah.
For the 2.3 thing with the Rangers.
Limas are great.
Yeah.
They're also old.
You get the dual spark plug one, you get all that spark. Hell yeah.
My dad's little hot rod thing, he's a Lima. And it's a similar story for all the S10 stuff. The 2.8 is like a total dog. It has no power and it sucks up gas and it's ass, but it'll run forever. And the Iron Duke is just a classic. And then the early 4.3 is not bad. The late 4.3 fantastic. And you can put a 5.7 in place of a 4.3 and be really rocking.
But yeah, 3 liters.
I'm not an automatic hater, just for the record. My S10 is auto. My fastest vehicle currently is automatic. Not only automatic, it's 4L60E, baby. And I paid a lot to have that piece of crap rebuilt. So I'm no stranger to the process. I'm not interested in doing it myself.
You know, it's crazy. It's the fastest car you have, and it's like very, not good right now.
It's down for the moment. Yes, it's having.
Well, it's not even that. Like actually, that could be why it's down on power. You're literally just missing a cell.
Slayer said, 4.3 LOL.
The 4.3 is fantastic.
Yacht Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru, said, the autos in the Protege had no overdrive like the Escort GT.
Even in the BJ, because I know that's something else I haven't looked at all the way, but the 2003 P5 got the fancy, the sport shift automatic. I don't know the ratios in it though.
We generally just don't care about autos when it comes to Mazda platforms.
Yeah, it's so easy to get a Festiva or a Protege or a 323 or an Escort in manual that I'd recommend just doing so.
Said, I am an auto hater, but I've got 2, maybe 3 if you count junk. Yacht Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru. Said, the BG.
Yeah.
Chunk Theslayer. Said, Chevrolet. Cracked heads, every valve rattles, oil leaks, engine ticks.
That sounds like Mazda engine.
I mean, half of those things are what your S10 has right now, though.
What do you mean? One of those things, the tick.
Your valve, I guess your valves don't rattle. Your rocker rattled off.
It didn't rattle off; it just snapped right off. And I would say that's probably an uncommon failure for an LT1.
And that bolt's technically in your head, so your head is kind of cracked.
Not at all cracked.
Said, 4.3 is a great motor. Owned several over the years. Yacht Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru. Said, the Escorts are getting hard to find in manual, but I build both auto and manual. Dustin Lib. Said, can hear every valve rattle on long extended trips. Chunk Theslayer. Said, you will find cracked heads if it's 4.3. Chunk Theslayer. Said, overheating issues? LOL.
Y'all are silly. Mine are doing just fine. And for the record, it's currently the valve cover is off. It's missing an entire rocker, and the exhaust valve is stuck shut. And I still drove it out of my driveway and parked on the street. So, it's doing fantastic. I can't remember the other thing I was going to say. Something about manuals. Oh, yeah. The fact that most mod stuff that we work with is still available fairly easily in manual makes it better. And especially on a smaller engine. The LT1 on the 4-speed auto is fine. It's got so much torque it doesn't really matter. And it's a truck. Manual shifting a truck quickly without a very nice T5 is not easy, and nice T5s aren't cheap. So I don't really care. But in this case, front-wheel drive, 4-cylinder stuff, much prefer to have manual. There was a guy on one of the things that said, well, it'd be silly to have such overdrive on a little 4-cylinder engine making no torque. If my Mazda didn't have overdrive, and I was about to say what, and somebody already said the stock transmission on every Mazda manual is already overdrive, if not double
Twice,
overdrive.
yeah.
What are you talking about? I think there are some M or G6s that are triple overdrive. I think there might be one that still has a .97 fourth, if I remember correctly.
Just make too much power, we can overdrive the hell out of it.
And which makes it very hilarious when I totally forgot that our third gear is our 1-to-1, and when I did the speed run on the dyno, I put it in fourth on the dyno. So when I was hitting 6,000 RPM
the
in
Ford Escort
fourth,
Guru. Said, I try to get as many G-trannies as possible when they hit the local junkyard. Dustin Lib. Said, Miata 6-speed is not overdrive.
I've heard that. What is the rate? I'm going to look at the ratio right now.
It's gonna be wild if it's not. I mean, it's not super
The
surprising.
6-speed also got a unique final drive ratio, which I think might have to be up for it. Let's just see real quick.
The final drive would have to be like 2 point something to be able to make up for not having overdrive
it's
the
not.
trains.
I'll tell you right now.
Lib. Said, same as 5-speed.
So you're saying the 5-speed is not overdrive? That's insanity. It is 2 overdrive. I keep hearing people say this. It certainly is.
Said, well, 5 and 6 are the same.
So you're saying the fifth gear is the same as in the 5-speed as 6 and a 6-speed.
Which is fine. But yes, fifth in the 6-speed is 1.0. And sixth is 0.843. Therefore, sixth gear is overdrive. Final drive ratio for the 10th anniversary is 3.909. So there, it's overdrive. It's 0.843.
0.1's a weird one. Like, to have an even ratio like that.
A 1-to-1?
It is-
Yeah. Because normally like it's 0.1, 0.03 or something, but no, it's just straight up 1.00.
Yeah. You don't
All
see
right,
that very often.
Let's go 1999. Miata
Racing team, the Ford
Man.
Escort Guru,
5.
said, "Glad to see that we are doing all we can to keep these platforms alive."
Heck yeah. View card detailed spec.
Slayer said, 4.3 can hold a candle to Ford 4.0 V6.
Okay.
I don't know. I see way more 4-liters in a junkyard. That's my anecdotal evidence there for you.
You want to know the real 4-liter, baby? Jeep 4.0.
The only time,
Straight 6.
the only time you see those in a junkyard when the body's completely rotted away and there's no frame.
And then he's already out of it because it's in another
Okay.
Jeep.
Exactly.
But when driving a 5-speed Miata, you want an extra overdrive. And the 6-speed doesn't deliver.
Don't tell me what I want. Damn it. I want close ratio boxes. I want to shift 17 times to hit 31 miles an hour.
Look, we grew up on Need for Speed and, stuff like that. We want to
X,
shift
Y, X, Y, X, Y,
Exactly.
X, 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 Y.
Said, AMC i6FTW.
Yes, okay, so. Wow, first is so short on the 6-speed. That's sick. So much acceleration, ladies and gentlemen. Fifth on the 5-speed, or fourth on the 5-speed is 1. Fifth on the 6-speed is 1. So it's closer ratio from first to third, which is why it's so much fun to drive. 3.76 versus 3.1. Then 2.269 versus 1.88. Good lord. Then 1.65 versus 1.33. Then 1.2 versus 1. Then 1 compared to 0.814 because it starts with extra gear. And then 6 is 0.843. Final drive, 3.99 on the 10th anniversary.
Healer
Final drive,
said,
the good
"Run
one.
Miata 6-speed on a 3.63:1 diff."
Excuse me?
Isn't that what it has?
No, mine's a 3.9. I don't know if I'd be able to find a 3.63. Not that it matters. I don't really care about Miata enough. The crazy ratio for the NB was the 4.3. So you get a 5-speed with a 4.3 final, and then I think there's a 4.1 something, and there's a 3.9, and like Ryle said, you get a 3.63, which, again, I don't care. The point is, I have a Miata.
Said, "Very hard to find."
Yeah, that sounds like ass to me. I have a Miata. It's got an LSD. It's got 6 gears. It's got a BP that works great. That's all I really care about.
3.6 might be nice for.
Nope. I ain't doing it.
Then you let me finish the sentence.
Whatever it is, I'm not doing
Not for you, for like a turbo BP one or something, where you have the extra torque.
it. I can build a turbo BP.
You're not going to.
Why not? I got the manifold.
Technically, but you're not going to.
Why won't I? I got a G25 550 that I'm not using.
Because you're not going to make a car faster in your Festiva.
Oh, well, it's just a drift car. Who cares? Just make sure, just put shit tires on it so it can never go faster and only spin.
Said, "Yes, 3.6 makes the 6-speed good."
No, it's already good. Short gear ratios. I don't want a 5+1. I want to shift 17 times.
He wants to be in 6th gear and be doing 35 down
Bam.
the road.
We're ready. Turbo me, baby.
Was that actually a BP one?
Yes.
Oh, is that one? You get that from their clearance?
Yes. I got one for each. I got 1.6 and a 1.8.
Turbo and both.
Look at that die grinding.
"My car with the Mazda Speed 4.1
I'm surprised they
and
actually went through the
5-speed
effort
works
to do
best."
that.
Yeah, I mean your speed felt great, but it's also Miata. I don't
The Ford
care.
Escort Guru said, "What cost you the most
That's
Oh,
easy.
on the
Just
6-speed
getting the
project?"
transmissions, I think, would be the most.
Yeah, I guess number one cost donor transmissions, the actual G6s themselves, especially before I found a better source for them. We paid I have an entire freaking Fusion sitting on the side of the road right now that has one in it. We need to find that clutch real bad, by the way.
It couldn't have went.
I don't.
What if some crackhead
know.
just walked off with it?
but the car's locked. I checked. What costs the most? My sanity, my time. I've got so many hours into just research.
Said. Driving to Canaf.
Yes, driving all the way to Canaf.
Later.
Canaf's pretty
Said.
far.
Ford 4.9i6.
The only Ford engine I care about is the 7.3 because it's great. Even though I don't own one, and I only got to. My family had it for a few years.
It's like the most underpowered diesel in existence, but it doesn't die. It just
Power
keeps going.
stroke. It's not that underpowered. It did just fine. It towed everything I could throw at it.
Not quickly. I mean, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
It's not quick on its own. I got it to 92. It didn't hit a limiter. It just kind of just
sat there and just made noise. Yeah.
Didn't even make noise. Just like chilling. Just like, like all right, 92. We're done.
Like they'll do anything. They just won't do it quickly.
Ours had 330K on it. We sold it.
Racing team, the Ford Escort Guru. Said. Where are y'all located? Chunkfest Layer. Said. XJs are okay, but exploders have, wait for it, a frame.
Who cares about a frame? XJs are out there kicking ass. They're eating shit all day and just getting at it.
With less frame, you get more twist. You know.
Frames, schmames, man. We are in Kentucky. I'm in Lexington. Steven's not far away. He's in Winchester. But I go places all the time. So I'm in Lexington, but literally we drove to Virginia just to machine these shafts down. It's like, you want to know about like cost for this? How about transporting 17 transmissions to the middle of Virginia to borrow somebody's lathe in the back of their garage?
For an entire weekend.
Or driving all the way to Canada to pick up a transmission just because I found a good one, and then crossing the border and having my passports out and stuff. Or 10,000 hours of research on gear ratios and model years and part numbers for Mazda JP.
Going all the way up to Michigan to pull a transmission out in someone's
I spent like $400 on shift gates to make it work for the early G series. I've spent so far $1,300 on synchros for me and one other person who has not paid for them yet. So I'm still out for the synchro stuff. I've bought about we've bought $1,200 in bearing and synchro kits now.
Which those are relatively decently priced.
Yes.
I gotta go to bed. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Bill. It's probably a good idea. It's 1:30 in the freaking morning. I gotta go to Harbor Freight and buy a press.
I'm still half hour away from home.
Said. Thumbs up. Justin Lim. Said. Are your videos monetized yet? I tried to rewatch as much as possible.
Hey, we can make you watch an ad right now.
Racing team, the Ford Escort Guru. Said. Damn, bro, that's crazy.
It is crazy, but I do it because I like it, and I like doing stuff for the community and do things. For example, I just bought like $4,000 worth of headlights. I had a custom mold made just so I could make clear corner signals for Festivas. Here they are. Woo! They're here.
If you want to keep
seeing,
the
prototypes are here.
If you want to keep seeing stupid stuff like this, stupid cool that is.
Yes.
Buy anything you can at the festivastore.com. It helps out a lot.
It helps a ton. Hey, where's their G case that we drilled for the sensor boss?
That one. Top.
Yeah. Oh, there's no sensor on it.
Yeah, because the one that has the sensor on it's on mine.
Yeah. Here's something else we developed. You can't see it because it's missing, but see those holes in this case? That's because I've developed an entire crank sensor kit for G series based engines and transmissions. I have laser cut tone rings out for the flywheel. Is there one out here somewhere?
No.
There's one on the E series. So I have it's a 3D printed sensor kit with metal inserts. It uses OEM brand new sensors. It has a 60-2 trigger wheel, custom laser cut to fit on the OEM flywheel. There it is. So now you can have a 60-2 trigger wheel on your G series based transmissions. And then if you want to have cam signal on top of that, but not use a shitty cast or half a distributor, it's not out here because it's getting machined right now. Brand new CNC, my own design from the ground up for a sensor for the cam. You drill a little pilot hole with a printed guide. It comes with a dowel pin, the press fit, gives you a +1 reference with a super flat sensor, OEM Hall effect. Comes with wiring in the kit, comes with the drill bit in the kit, everything included. That'll be on the store pretty soon. I'm having brand new exhaust manifolds made for the V6T, so you can put a T25 turbo directly on your V6T with no adapter plates.
Or any
V6.
V6.
It moves it to the left, gives you more space for your radiator. It angles it so it fits tight against the block, gives you as much clearance as you can for your radiator fan. It bolts on directly a GT2554R, a GBC20, freaking EFR something 60 or something or other, a GT2560R, All plug and play. Factory O2 sensor optional. It's cast in super ductile steel. Those are coming to the store within the next month. It's wild stuff. What else are we doing? I don't know. There's a lot going on, but we're doing it all. So yes, the store is broke. So if you like what we're doing here and you want to help support stuff like this happening more often, number one, yes, my videos are monetized. I make about 13 cents a video. And to make money on this video, I have to manually insert some ads. So maybe I'll do that in a second. But primarily, you can help right now on YouTube by becoming a member of the channel. Somewhere on the homepage for my channel, you will see A, the channel trailer, which is a good old video, but B, you'll see a button that says Become a Member. And for $1.99 a month, you can become a member and you get access to custom emojis, which there's one of my dog, there's one of my car, there's one of my face wearing goofy glasses. I don't remember what the fourth one is. It's the B. Custom emojis, you can spam in the chat. So I think Dragon Healer is maybe a member, and he could do that. Or Bill just left. Bill's a member.
Racing team, the Ford Escort Guru, said, I totally understand. I do the same as much as I can. I'm getting ready to have clear turn signals and tail lights made for the Escorts. Chunk Theslayer said, Frame schmammy lol, yet you have the people who want to say my 19K Festiva is a $500 parts car because of a little rust spot, haha.
You know, mileage doesn't matter for Festivas. It's all about condition.
Samet Industries said, underscore Maverick underscore Will underscore JDMB2 underscore Metua.
There you go.
Yep.
You can have access to those custom emojis for $1.99 a month and support Samet Industries / the Festive store right now. And then, here's some ads. Unless you have YouTube Premium or Ad Blocker and you won't see them. Hooray! Have 2 or 3 of them. Click, 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 click.
Said, LOL.
Woo! Overview cam. Woo! It's way past our bedtime.
Dude, I'd be waking up for work right now, pretty much.
It's disgusting.
You know, I thought about that. Like, if I didn't work a 10-hour shift, I would be waking up at like 6 or 7. But I get a whole extra day off because I work a 10-hour shift. I think that's worth more than, waking up an hour or two earlier.
I think so. I'd do it. I have no idea what ads they're watching. It's so crazy.
They could
even on replay, I can't see them.
They could all be premium. My YouTube's a premium, so I couldn't even pop in the stream to check. Oh, I wonder if I open it up on, like...
There's a general tab.
Yeah.
Incognito tab. All right. Thanks to all the ads.
Said, ads showing up on phone, but not PlayStation. Yacht Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru, said, y'all should come to Ford Nationals in Carlisle, PA. Dustin Lib said, hymns.
I don't know if that says more about me or you in that case. Ford Nationals, maybe someday. Zaxby's, nice. We might do Ford Nationals at some point. I think I'm going to try to do Ford Fest this year because it's really close by. Because it's in Bowling Green. And I know some friends from down south are going to Ford Fest, so I might do that.
Let me reload the
But
page.
again, I'm really not a Ford person.
I skipped the ad in accident.
No.
I was going to let it play out. I think you get the same amount of money either way. I don't think they'll give you any more for not skipping it.
Okay, I don't know why we played ads. Because you opened your phone. We gained like 4 more viewers. We dropped to 5 as soon as the ad started. We came back to 9. But it doesn't matter. I love you all, but it's 1:40 in the morning, and I'm supposed to wake up sometime decent and go buy a freaking...
I'm not waking up at 2 p.m.
Said, last question. I want to get my MX-3 running this year. Chunk Theslayer said, I'm the only like on this video. That's sad.
Yeah, everybody like, comment, subscribe. Dustin, that wasn't a question.
Dustin Lib said,
there it is.
Which motor should I use?
It depends. What do you want out of it?
Import a KF.
Honest,
Final answer.
or if you... No, there's a secondary answer. Take a K8 and turbo it.
Said, have B6T or B6 Me.
Gross. No, K8 ITBs long tube headers. Final answer.
Wild.
Just,
If you're gonna do that though, just put a KLDE in it because it's bolts in.
K8's bolt-in.
Hard to find.
That's what makes them cooler. Plus, they're higher RPM because they're de-strobed.
Custom ECU at that point.
So
B6 ME.
that's why I asked what his goals are.
Yeah, I mean, like the question is what's the goal with it. If it were just a driver, I think a B6 ME back into it would be totally fine, and then you can just use a stock harness.
But if you want something that
You
sounds
should put
amazing,
your B16 in your Festiva.
yeah, don't put a B16 in MX3.
Said, I'm not buying another motor.
That's quitter talk.
That's lame. You're not buying, you're investing.
Put the B6 ME back in it.
Or sell a B6 ME to a Festiva nerd, and then use that money to buy a KF or K8.
Or put the B6 ME in your Festiva.
Now put the B16 in your Festiva.
That's more work.
I mean, a B6 ME is pretty cool in the
Said.
Festiva.
I have 3 here.
3 B6Ts or 3 MEs?
If you have 3 B6 MEs, I might actually... No, I can't spend any money.
It's a dangerous place for you to be.
It's dangerous. I do want a B6 ME, though.
You should buy that one for your sister.
Nah, I spent the sister money on kitchen stuff, so...
Get bent.
Well, ceremonies. Amanda hasn't sent me one.
All right, if you have 3 B6Ts, then you should put that in the MX3, and you should buy one of these new manifolds.
Said, I haven't seen any ads. Booyah. Dustin Lim. Said, 1 B6T, 1 B6 Me, 1 Miata B6. Dragon Healer. Said, B6T is straightforward for the win. Dustin Lim. Said, which goes to MX3, which goes to Festiva.
Do you have a G series for the B16? That's the real deciding factor here.
Slayer. Said, oh no, not Ford LOL. Yacht Racing Team, the Ford Escort Guru. Said, what do those manifolds look like?
Great question. They look great. I'll have more pictures in like 3 days. I tried to print another version of it to show them off, and my printer said no halfway through.
Said, G Series Hydro.
Okay, put the B16 in the MX3 then.
Yeah.
Because you need a G series for a B6T, for a Festiva, and it needs to be cable. Ideally.
And then you can buy the new manifold.
Said, egged. Chat is delayed.
Yeah, it's on a 6-second delay. Yeah, so put the G Hydro and B6T in the MX3. Go buy the new Salmon Industries B6T manifold so you can run a T25, and then make a fast MX3. And then put the B6 ME in the Festiva and have a really nice Moss Daily. And then, or put on coilovers and slam it, make it a 6 dance car with some decent power.
Yeah, an B6 ME is a great engine for a Festiva.
And
Nice.
it's now 1:42 in the morning. We gotta go. I gotta see how much this the press is. Bye.
Send like 6 more ads and then end the stream. They'll keep going once you end it, right?
I don't know. They're gonna find out.
They're gonna find out. Well, except like the 4 people who didn't get ads.
Bye. Here come the ads. Bye.
Said, plates.
Do I wonder if they make an AI voice for that that's a little bit more realistic?
You can customize.